Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to pick up my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE Raw 17th of October 2016. Sorry about the lateness of this video. I did fall asleep during Raw. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens come out. Owen says, "If you idiots don't mind being quiet for a minute," he has something important to say. At this point, there's no denying it anymore. There's something that is crystal clear. Mick Foley had some vendetta against him. Why would Mick Foley shorten his career by putting him in the Hell in a Cell match against Seth Rollins? Then Jericho says Foley had some vendetta against him and Owens. Everyone says it's a badge of honour to be in the Hell in a Cell, but it's a nail in the coffin. It's the most barbaric structure in the history of WWE. I thought that was the Elimination Chamber, but let's move on. The fact that you're in the match that ended Foley's career, it is a travesty of justice and proves that Foley is a stupid idiot. Then Owen says he has a lot more brain cells than Mick Foley, and he knows how to keep a hand on himself on shortening his career. Only Seth Rollins' career will be shortened here because he will be in the match with Kevin Owens. You will talk about what he did to Seth Rollins, and it will still be called the Kevin Owens Show. Then Jericho says it should be called the Chris and Kevin Show. And then Chris starts talking about all the people he beat. He beat Chris. He beat Rey Mysterio. He beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the same night. He beat The Undertaker. If he can beat them, he sure as hell can beat Seth Rollins. Chris then says he did not beat Seth Rollins last week due to bad officiating. And then Owens is like, the referee deserves something. Chris is like, when you are not good around your job around here and you do the wrong things around here. And then he says, Rod Zapata, you made the list! And then Kevin's like, Seth Rollins, you will have his swan song in the Hell in the Cell. He's already replaced Seth as a man, and he will retire him at Hell in the Cell. Seth comes out and says, are you going to retire me, Owens? And then he says, Jericho, if you're going to put something on the list, why don't you put that terrible scarf on there? You can add your rinky-dinky tattoos, the moustache, and the sparkly crotch gear. And Chris is like, I'm not a sparkle crotch. And then Jericho starts putting them on the list, and then Seth said, you should put your friendship with Kevin Owens on the list, because what friend stands around and watches you get pedigreed 2 weeks in a row? And then Kevin's like, that's why you have no friends, Seth. You're not a good person now. Friends, we are good friends because we've talked about what has gone on, and one of us has to stay strong for the team. Seth points out that Kevin is strong in Chris this week, and then Chris says, I'm a 6-time world champion. He is the best at what he does. He has GOAT on the back of his trunks for a reason. And then he says, I can beat Rollins anywhere, anytime, any place. Seth says Dan's as good a place as anyone, not fight now. Seth wants to know what Kevin's going to do. Will he be sent to the back so you can prove you can beat him? Do you let him stay out, be the world's ugliest cheerleader, and watch Chris get pedigree for the 3rd week in a row? Chris says Kevin is leaving, but Kevin wants to stay because of what happened recently. Kevin says it's best for the team if one takes a bullet. Chris says he knows all the tricks. They are still best friends. That does not change the fact that Kevin has his back. Chris needs to show Seth, the stupid idiot in the building, and the people at home who he is. Kevin says that Chris can do it, and he's got his back, and he'll be there in spirit. Owens leaves. He does come down during the match, and the finish happened when Seth reverses a code breaker into a pedigree for the win. It was a lovely move. Then we had a Lita and Charlotte sit-down interview. Lita asked Charlotte about her head going into the match. Lita mentioned Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Triple H, Mick Foley, and the legends of the Hell in a Cell. Charlotte will be alongside those names in a few weeks. Charlotte said she was born to do this. Like no other woman has been in the Hell in a Cell. None of the other women were Charlotte Flair. Lita asked Charlotte about her pressure. Charlotte says she is the greatest superstar, male or female, in WWE. Lita then asked Charlotte if she has taken advantage of Sasha at SummerSlam. Charlotte asks if there is a reason why she is a 2-time champion, or there is a reason why she has won 12 straight pay-per-view matches. It's because she is durable and a win is a win. Lita asks if it is better for your legacy to beat the best at 100%. Charlotte says she is the very best because she is at 100%. She says that when she is in the ring, everyone knows that she is the woman. Lita asked Charlotte about people behind Sasha in the face of her hometown, and Charlotte says she has never needed the universe or anyone to help her. She has not needed anyone to cheer for her. She is genetically superior. Does anyone in WWE Universe know what it's like to walk in her shoes? Sasha needs the WWE Universe, and she needs to face Charlotte and hand the Cell in her hometown. Sasha may have beaten her on Raw and Los Angeles. Charlotte says that on any given day, one of them is the better person. She's the one to beat. She's the 3-time She will be the 3-time champion and nothing will stop her. Then we have the worst match ever. The Golden Truth and Mark Henry versus the Shining Stars and Titus O'Neil. I have no interest in this whatsoever. Mark Henry won with the world's longest slam to Titus O'Neil anyway. Then we see the New Day walking backstage with a Day 420 sign. Then we have a Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens backstage segment. Kevin says he's sorry about coming to the ring. Chris says, I asked you as a friend not to come out. Kevin says Foley and Rollins are doing this so Chris won't have his back. Chris tells Kevin he does not want to come to the ring and call him a Kevin says, you're not someone you can put on the list or call a stupid idiot. They continue to argue. Steph comes in and tells them to shut up. She says that they were letting Rollins into their head. Steph mentions a challenge by Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. She needs the two generals on the same page. They need to be smarter and stronger than anyone else. Then we had a Sheamus with Cesaro versus Big E with Kofi and Xavier Woods. We had a bit of obviously the stuff. We had Big E saying Sheamus must be a mile high if he thinks he's going to beat him, or three of them in a court-appointed partner, Cesaro. Xavier says two people are running for president will be closer-knit tag team than Sheamus and Cesaro. Kofi said he'll be able to beat Cesaro when he was not at his best. Kofi asked if Xavier knew who Big E was going to beat. He will beat the hot steaming pile of human garbage. Big E is the Sheamus who is too busy fussing around with Facebook Live. You cannot say Sheamus without saying shame. Kofi said he doesn't even think they are friends on Facebook. Xavier says it does not matter what kind of friends they are because they will show that for the last 420 days they have legally been your WWE Tag Team Champions. How many drug references did we get in there? We got 2. Mile High and legally. Big E won with the roll-up. Then we have a backstage segment from the Raw pre-show. Bo Dallas and Curtis Angle in the locker room during the pre-show. Bo says he is the only one who needs to believe in Bo. Curtis says Bo that he is a believer and he has his back tonight. We had Bo Dallas versus Neville. Bo won with the Crossroads. After the match, Bo Dallas attacks Curtis Axel, knocks him off the turnbuckle, clotheslines him on the floor, sends him into the apron and ring barrier, and then hit him with a running knee. Okay. Bo's even more heel. Did Curtis Axel just turn face from that? I don't know. Then we had Bayley versus Dana. And please, for the love of God, check your skies because it's going to be raining fireballs because Dana beat Bayley. Dana sent Bayley into the ring post and pulled Bayley into the ring and got the 3 count. And then Michael Cole introduces Paul Heyman and asks Paul if Goldberg will answer the challenge will be affirmative. Paul said the whole entire situation is spiraled out of control. Maybe Goldberg should pay attention to what he has to say. The challenge is rhetorical. Goldberg is going to fly to Raw. He'll not show up to Denver to say no. Goldberg will appeal tonight to say yes. Paul says that he wants Bill Goldberg to think about why Brock did not challenge you face to face. It's because Brock does not think about you anymore. Bill is not worth the sweat off Brock's something. I don't know. Tussus? Maybe head. I don't know. It is a video game, Bill. It is fantasy. Bill, you should show up and just say no. Maybe if you say yes in Goldberg, you are going to piss Brock Lesnar off. It's already pissed Brock Lesnar off that you beat him 12 years ago and that you think you can do it again. The WWE Universe think so too because the WWE Universe chants stupid names. Paul says Denver can hear and what you're saying, and it's pissing Brock Lesnar off too. Don't say yes tonight just because if you do, you'll be beaten, victimized, and conquered. You will be beaten and embarrassed by the #1 box office attraction, Brock Lesnar. Byron's in the ring with apparently the Mile High Trio. He asks if they are the competition Braun is looking for, and the first says that it will take a long time to get used to the altitude and that he will get winded. The other say they'll beat Strowman. And basically he murders them and then reverse choke slam, and then Braun takes the mic and says, "Foley! If you're not going to give me the competition I want, I'm going to take it to the back and get it myself!" Sami Zayn comes to the ring, he gets in Strowman's face and he pushes him to the floor and leaves. And then Zayn walks to the back and an interviewer asks him why did he pick a fight with Braun Strowman. Sami says because nobody else will. Lana gets in the ring to introduce her husband. I did fall asleep during this, so this is all just words. I didn't actually watch any of this. Rusev said 2 weeks time he's going to crush Roman Reigns and handle Sally. Says that people are going to stop the USA chants, and it only made them chant louder, to be honest. Rusev screams in Bulgarian and the crowd chant, "What?" Lana tells everyone that her husband is not only the greatest United States champion of all time, she knows that Rusev is the greatest family man, unlike the people of Colorado with their pathetic family values. Rusev said Roman talks about his family all the time. That is good to know about your family. You have 700 Samoan in your family. Your family breaks coconuts over their head. Rusev introduces his family. We see a picture of his mother and mentions that she is a 2-time rowing champion. Lana says that's what it meant to be a champion, unlike the women here who are nothing. Lana says you don't like your nagging and annoying mother-in-laws, but Lana loves her mother-in-law. Rusev shows a picture of her, and you can see that he is. That's where he gets his good look from. Lana says he is a strong man. Rusev shows a picture of his brother, who is the best chef in the best restaurant in Bulgaria. He shows a picture of his grandmother. He shows a picture of his dog and his cousins. Okay. Roman Reigns interrupts and says he has a big family. He's not talking about his bloodline. He's talking about the Roman Empire. Roman says Rusev does not look like his dad. Rusev looks more like the family dog. Rusev tells Roman he disrespects family, but do not disrespect him. Rusev says will make a call, but Roman wants to know who he's going to call. Roman says it doesn't matter who you call because it's 1-on-1 hands out. The only person Rusev will be able to call is 911. Lana gets in Rusev's face, and Lana slaps Roman, and Rusev follows with a super kick. Rusev sends Roman into the ring steps. Rusev hits Roman in the head with the steel steps. Rusev sends Roman into the back in the ring. Rusev brings the rest of the steps into the ring. Roman with punches, but Rusev with a struck kick. Roman sent into the steps. Rusev puts Roman on the steps, and match time. Rusev stomps on the back and applies to the accolade on the steps. Lana and Rusev leave the ring. Enzo does his usual entrance. Says he's got a couple of haters. Colin says, hate him, love him, you can take your opinion and shove it. Enzo said you have been chumped from the jump. He says Carl's got hell to pay and throw the spirals into the dome piece like he was John Alway. We had Carl Anderson versus Colin Cassidy. Colin with and something side slam for the 3 count. Then we had Drew Gulak and Tony Nese on the back telling Brian take care of the side of the bargain and they'll take care of their side of the bargain. TJ asks if Brian's going to do another cheap shot. And then TJ makes fun of Drew's ring jacket. Brian says you don't need friends, but you can have allies. TJ says, what did Brian promise Tony and Drew to get in the 6-man match? TJ says he knows Brian's better than Brian knows himself. He will be game over at Hell in a Cell. Brian said this is not a video game, but he'll be more dangerous side than he is on his last life. We have Sasha Banks' interview with Lita now. Lita asked Sasha about defending the title at Hell in a Cell. How does she feel? She says she's ready. They started in NXT together. It's great to see how far they've come. They have made history inside Hell in a Cell. No matter the feelings she has for Charlotte, she has her respect. Lita asks Sasha what Charlotte said about winning Hell in a Cell. Sasha reminds Lita that this is Boston. This is her hometown. Sasha says she does not realise that this is real. The women's revolution has come so far and is making history, the first woman champion in the Hell in the Cell. Lita asks Sasha about her back issues at SummerSlam. Sasha says SummerSlam was SummerSlam. She is good to go. Lita mentions structure lowering down over the ring and asks if Sasha is afraid. Sasha says she does not want to say afraid because it is not. She signed up for this. She wanted the match. She did not want to say she is afraid. She has been watching the previous Hell in the Cell matches, but she's entered the cell. She cannot show fear. She needs to show that she is the boss. Then we had the Brian Kendrick, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak versus Richard Swann, Alexander, and TJ Perkins. Apparently Kendrick did the bully joke on Swann, I think. I don't know. It was very confusing on how the thing were written. And then we have Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon in the office talking about SmackDown Survivor Series Challenge. They also talk over each other and trying to give the other person credit for the 3 Hell in the Cell matches. Stephanie asked Mick what he has in store for next week's Raw. Mick suggests Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Steph's like, I don't like that. I love that. They high five and Mick leaves the office. And then we have Bill Goldberg come out. Bill says it's been 12 years. He never says never. He said he never thought he'd be in the ring again. He thanks everyone for the humble return. Bill says what makes it so special is his wife and son are here to see him live for the first time ever. In January, he got a call from 2K and WWE saying the opportunity to travel around the world for the video game. It's been 12 years. He has missed a lot of things. Other than the ass kicking, he misses being a superhero for all the kids that ain't got enough of these days. He's going to go to Germany or Toronto and he's going to see children as he was Goldberg. He gave him the opportunity to be a superhero again. Along the way, he created some drama in WWE. What that did is what made him think. It made him think long and hard. Bill said he thinks he may be better life, best alone. Maybe he keeps it in the video game. But then Brock Lesnar challenged him to a fight. He didn't have the balls to do it himself. He made Paul Heyman, the fat little stooge, do it for him. That got him thinking, what would you do? He thought to himself, he has one ass kicking left in him. He thought to himself, maybe he has one badass spear left in him. Maybe he has one last devastating jackhammer in him. So Brock Lesnar, not only does that mean you're next, but most importantly, it means Brock Lesnar, you're last. And that's how we end the show. It was a very good show, to be fair. I kind of should have watched the last hour, but to be fair, I fell asleep. Anyway, I really did enjoy the show. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later.